When you need mealtime inspiration, it's worth shopping Baker's, where you'll find over 30,000 mouth-watering choices that excite your inner foodie. And no matter what tasty choice you make, you'll enjoy our everyday low prices, plus extra ways to save, like digital coupons worth over $600 each week. You can also save up to $1 off per gallon at the pump with fuel points. More savings and more inspiring flavors make shopping Baker's worth it every time. Baker's, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
Jewelry isn't a gift you give just once. It's a way to remind your loved one of a beautiful moment every time they see it. Blue Nile can help you find the gift that says how you feel and says it beautifully, with expert guidance and a wide assortment of jewelry of the highest quality at the best price. Go to BlueNile.com and experience the convenience of shopping Blue Nile, the original online jeweler since 1999. That's BlueNile.com to find the perfect jewelry gift for any occasion. BlueNile.com.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you guys didn't forget about us, because it might seem like we forgot about y'all. But promise you, we did. No, we definitely did. Just a lot of stuff going on, man. I mean, I feel like I say this like the same thing every time, but promise. Hey, promise is a big, I don't know how you feel about promises, but promise is a big word to say right now. So, yeah. We promise that we're going to get back onto regular schedule. Back to our filming Mondays, uploading first thing Tuesday, and there's a lot to talk about. Maybe a lot of downtime for other sports. But hockey just ended for us, sadly. NBA Finals, for fuck's sake, holy shit, we're gonna have a lot to talk about that right now. Yep. We got a lot of soccer coming up for our soccer fans. Can't wait to get that rolling. But yeah, if you guys have made it and you guys are at the right spot, this is Austin Ollie, a sports podcast, presented to you by Bailey of Sports.
Yes, sir. Welcome back. Feels good to be back. Back like we never left. I know we talked about it a lot. We've just been busy.
Man.
Life goes on, life goes on.
Yeah.
But it feels good to be back, trying to get back in the swing of things and kind of get back into getting more on a consistent, regular schedule, which I think not only in the podcast world, but just like regular life, we've been trying to do that too. So it feels good to be back, man. Kind of get back on a my regularly scheduled program.
Yeah, I feel like for both of us, it just seems like it's been a lot of stuff has been going on in between the last episode and this one. Just in general, like I still feel like I'm still somehow trying to get back into my like regular routine because of,
for sure.
Memorial Day, I was out for basically a week for work and like a lot of shit. I don't know. There's a lot of shit. It sounds like a bunch of excuses, but yes, they are excuses. But hey,
it is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is. Life happens. If we're getting paid to do this, if this was our full-time job,
we'd be on it.
Kick that shit to the side, bro.
Yeah.
Fuck a house, fuck a job, fuck bills. But yeah, hopefully that's the ideal goal eventually. But hey, we're here now. We're doing it because we're passionate about what
the love
our
of the
side
game,
gigs.
baby.
For the love of the game.
Love of the game.
For the love of the game, exactly. But yeah, guys, we have socials. If you're listening to us on the podcast, on wherever you listen to your podcasts, Apple, Spotify, you name it, Austin Ollie Sports Podcast. You'll listen to us. If you're seeing our sexy faces, a terrible jersey selection by your man, Austin Avereti.
Bro.
No. I'm repping, we're both repping navy blue, but I'm repping Mavericks. He's repping shit, basically.
Baby, come on.
Yeah, so if you're watching us, our beautiful faces on the YouTube, appreciate you guys. You guys have been killing it, not going to lie, last couple times. So consistency will hopefully help us out there. Instagram, Austin_and_Ollie. TikTok, Austin Ollie all together. And Twitter, Austin is the _and_Ollie.
Yeah. Austin_and_Ollie.
Yeah, so we're definitely going to be more active.
Now that we're back, we're going to be posting. We're going to be getting back into it.
I'm feeling, I don't know what it is, I'm just feeling motivated. It's beginning of June.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, you started running today. I'm getting back into the gym, hopefully. I've been bullshitting.
Today was the first day I actually woke up and went to the gym, and it's been at least a month and a half, which is crazy. So it feels good, bro. It feels good.
Yeah, it feels good. Like I'm saying, I want to be making videos every single day. Like I'm slot some times for this shit. I'm hoping backing this up because now it's on record now. So I gotta back this shit up.
I'm gonna hold you to it.
I gotta back this shit up. So.
I know.
It's on me. I'm looking at the scores table. That's on me. That's a foul right there. I'm about to foul out. So I have to be careful.
No, bro. No.
We're talking about foul now. Let's get to some NBA, yeah?
Yeah, yeah, I'm down.
Fucking
buddy.
Mavericks are Western Conference Finals champions. Like, we're
champs, baby.
ain't done yet though.
It looks
Gotta be
good.
done.
It looks good. So obviously, right, Mavs set up Western Conference champs, setting up a matchup against the Boston Celtics in the NBA Finals, which is cool for Big Larry O'Brien. Just a little overall path of the Mavericks, how they got here. Obviously, we had originally started doing game recaps back in the day. It clearly just has kind of fell to the wayside, but we're back. Mavs, obviously, right. They're the 5 seed, get the LA Clippers in the first round. The 4 seed, end up taking care of them in 6, which is nice. Kind of felt like, I don't know. I didn't really feel like that series was ever really in doubt. I don't know. You can kind of prove me wrong. I mean, obviously, right, losing game 1 kind of hurts. Kind of game 2 was close, but we looked pretty damn good. I think the Mavs looked good. Luka started getting a little banged up, which was a little worrisome, but that's okay. Round 2, Western Conference semis, get Oklahoma City the 1 seed, which is crazy, right? Young team, but get blown out in game 1 by 22.
Yep.
And just Luka, he looked so slow. He looked banged up, just hurt. And then it feels like after we lost game 4 to tie the series 2-2, Luka just felt like he just came back and was just rested, recovered, looked a lot better. Ended up taking care of them in 6 games also. The 1 seed, I mean, what were they, 57, 58 wins, something like that this year?
Yeah.
And then we get, I think this honestly was the ideal path that I think we had talked about with having Minnesota in the Western Conference semis. 3 seed, had 57, 56 wins, something of that nature. Number 1 defensive team in the NBA, handled them in 4 games. And really, we probably should have swept. We really probably had a chance to sweep. But we're looking pretty fucking good, dude. The Mavs look pretty fucking good.
This is, we talked about it. We had our expectations or what we expected. What was being a disappointment? I think we kind of both mutually agreed that we wanted win one round. Yeah, win one round, and after that, realistically, this still is a young team, and just in general and their experience together. I mean, Luka, Kyrie, Barry's second season. Your new additions with Derek Lively has been fucking massive for you in this playoffs and this whole season. Oh my gosh, yeah. We'll talk to him. We'll talk about him for sure. Gafford and PJ. I mean, half
played
a season
with them for half a season.
Half a season with you guys.
20-something games.
It's just a lot, and this team is still so young. No one really has to get a contract paid for. Yeah, exactly.
I think the only player we got to pay is Derek Jones Jr. this summer. That's the only one that we got to pay.
And he's coming back for sure with whatever we got to pay him. He's coming back.
Yeah.
But realistically, I don't want to say we should. Technically, everything was against us. You were favored a little bit in the Clippers series. You kind of were favored there because of the whole Kawhi situation.
Yep.
A full healthy Kawhi, do you win that series? I don't know. You probably push it to 7. But you can say the same thing about Luka being fully healthy too.
And what's crazy is the game that we won was we didn't win a game until Kawhi played. He didn't play in game 1, but he played game 2, and we beat him in game 2. So, it is, again, right, he wasn't fully healthy. He was probably a little rusty, so on and so forth, right? So that is a question mark.
It comes to the sports and just aspect of it. Does it make sense? You want your best players on the court.
Yep.
I'm sure you can look in there and sometimes be like, the Luka haters out there, that it's still crazy to me that there's still Luka haters right now. With just the way he plays, it can just be the Mavericks would be such a way better team if they didn't have Luka because he's such a ball hog, this and that. But come on,
crazy.
Realistically, come on, this is
it's crazy.
And then you go to OKC. I want to formally apologize to everyone that follows me on Twitter. I said that the series was over after we lost that game. Was it game 4? I think. We haven't won a game 4, correct? Is that what it is?
Yeah. We still haven't won game 4.
So we haven't won any game 4s in the postseason. But I thought it was over just because I think it was that game that we shot 52% from free throws. Yeah, I was in a dark mode. I was just wasn't thinking. I was just throwing everything out there. I should have sat there and just kind of
52.2%.
Yeah, exactly. So I thought the season was over. I just was like, you know what? We had our time, and OKC. I mean, and give Shea his flowers. Like he's an absolute crazy ball player. Even though we clown him for the free throws. I mean, the whole NBA Twitter clowns him on the free throw situation, which is true. But I mean, he's a bucket. Anywhere around the paint, mid range, he's a bucket.
It would piss me off whenever all the commentators would say it, but he he just plays smooth. He plays at his pace. Like doesn't feel like he's ever forcing anything. Like everything just looks clean. Yeah. I wouldn't say he's an elite 3-point shooter. That's probably the biggest detriment to his game. But I mean, he's a good defensive player. He's good in the mid range, can get to the rim, shoots free throws well. Yeah. I think that ultimately he's a stud. But people also were crowning him as the best young player in the NBA when Luka's younger than him and clearly a better player. So
it's insane to me.
It's crazy that people forget how young Luka actually is. Obviously Derek Lively is just turned 20. PJ's the same age as PJ Washington played college basketball with Shea. They're both one and dones at Kentucky. Daniel Gafford is the same age. I think he's 25, 26 maybe. All of our key contributors are just now entering their prime. And they're locked up on multiple year contracts too. So, I think that there's nothing you can do but give props to how this team has kind of been constructed, and it's kind of worked out. And so, man, it's nice. And then I'm glad that we don't have to listen to that what a pro wants, what a pro needs commercial. That
was comedy. I love that. I think the Mavericks right afterwards, after that series ended, they posted a TikTok with that audio.
Yeah.
And at first, I saw it and I was like, okay, but then I totally forgot that was a commercial running around with Shai.
And did you notice? Did you notice that it stopped as soon as they got eliminated?
Oh yeah.
And it wasn't. You never saw it again. Never saw it again as soon as they got eliminated.
Oh, that's funny, man. And I mean, OKC is gonna be good for a while.
Yeah,
and
they'll
they
be
could
good.
Easily get better, not by blowing the team up or anything. But, I mean, they have all these draft compensations. Yeah. They can do whatever they want. Go out and get someone, trade for someone. Yeah.
And they'll probably get rid of Josh Giddey too. Is kind of what the rumors are looking like.
He became unplayable. It's just crazy. It's very crazy how a player I'm not gonna lie. I'd lie if I didn't have thoughts about that. This is the way I think. I mean, if you guys are listeners, fluent listeners, and you guys listen to me be pessimistic, I think bad a lot about things. And when I was seeing Luka just kind of play the way he plays, and in my head I was like, what if one day he just falls off? What if one day he's just bad? He just can't do it. I don't know. I was thinking like that, but then every day he seems to fucking amaze me and just do even better.
It's unbelievable.
Than before. But yeah, I just think about how there's people that literally just completely fall off. Not that Giddey was an amazing player, but definitely a somewhat all-star, you could say. The way he just plays. He was a triple-double guy, but he was averaging 12 and barely scraping assists, 10-10 in the rebound situation. Yeah. But it became to the point in playoffs where he was unplayable.
Yep.
And it's that's insane. He just wasn't creative anywhere in the offense. They let him shoot. They let him have a space on the 3-ball, let him shoot, occasionally hit it. And another guy that kind of became unplayable was Cat. And he wasn't closing out series. He's closing out the last couple minutes in the Nuggets series, and also became a problem here too in Dallas. Yeah.
Well, and and it's kind of weird how it varies by matchup too, because I think that in the Oklahoma City series, Daniel Gafford was horrible. He looked absolutely atrocious. But when you get paired up against a team that plays a little bit more through bigs, where he's not going to be asked to defend in space on the perimeter, he was unbelievable. And it kind of is, it kind of helped, or is, I guess, a little bit different too, because Derek Lively got hurt. So he was asked to kind of take a little bit more of a bigger role, because it was either that or we're going to play Dwight Powell, which that wasn't necessarily what we wanted to do. But yeah, man, I think that ultimately you saw that we had the Timberwolves, going back to your point, right? The Timberwolves ended up closing out with Naz Reid and Rudy Gobert, and I mean, fucking Luka did his thing all over Rudy Gobert. So
yeah, it was, and they rode the hot hand. Almost just any sport you ride the hot hand, and it was Naz Reid that
Naz Reid looked fucking amazing.
What game was that? I think it was game 3 that he popped off. It was the first home game.
Game 2.
Or game 2?
Yeah, game 2. Because that was the game where Naz Reid went crazy, and then Luka hit the buzzer beater at the end of the game.
Yeah, that's when I was stuck at the airport all day watching that damn game.
Yeah.
Yeah, Naz Reid.
7-9.
Guy. Yeah, hate the guy for a lot of reasons.
I like Naz Reid. He's a good player, bro.
No, I know, but I know he is. I know. I mean, I'm a certified hater too. But when it comes to this, it's how I don't know how real this was, but Minnesota fans were getting his name tatted on them.
That is real. That is real.
Yeah, so I saw an old lady with wrinkles on herself.
Yeah.
Like, she should not be getting yatted on. She could die. Like, that's probably the last thing she ever did. I haven't seen any updates on her, so she probably died. But that and just his ugly ass jump shot. I'm sorry, like there's no way you're that fluent and like can knock down threes and just like emotion like he does. So
and what's crazy?
Yeah,
he was a
him and Kyle Anderson,
41.5% 3-point shooter this year on 5 attempts a game. Which is, I mean, and he's a 6'9" center.
he can bring the ball up too. I mean, I think he was a point in high school. I saw some videos and highlights of him just like, I think they called him Jelly, Big Jelly.
Yeah. His nickname is Big Jelly.
There you go. He was. Oh yeah, I could definitely get that. But yeah, another guy that I absolutely hate now on the Timberwolves is also Kyle Anderson, with that ugly ass jump shot of his where he like.
I didn't realize how bad it was. I didn't realize how bad it was.
If I could get him on a just one-on-one, just one question, there's so many questions I want to ask him. Just like, who the fuck taught you that shit? What made you think that was gonna make you a better shooter?
How do you even get that shot?
I don't know. Like, imagine pulling up to your LA Fitness and you see a guy shooting like that.
I don't know. That's a good question.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I think that there was a really distinct change in the way that the Mavs have played in the last, probably the last series, where I think that if you were to ask me in the Clippers series, like, can the Mavs legitimately win the NBA Finals? I would have said no.
Yeah.
But as this team kind of evolved, as Luka got healthy, and I don't even want to say he's 100%, but like in the Timberwolves series, especially in the closeout game, like Luka just looked like he just thrives off of any sort of like negative talk towards him from the other team or from their fans. And that reasoning alone gives me a lot of hope for this Boston series, because I'm not saying that Boston, the players specifically, talk a lot of shit, but Boston, the city, talks a lot of shit. And there's just I think I saw something today that Luka is the best performing star in playoffs in history in terms of points per game and his net rating change between being on the road and being at home. And I want to say that he's averaging, I think it's like 30 something, maybe 32 points a game, and his net rating increases by 4 points per 100 possessions when he's on the road versus when he's at home. And it's because he just thrives off of those big moments, thrives off of like fans like calling him a crybaby, and he's gonna sit there and who's crying, motherfucker, like straight to their face. Like he just loves it. Like, that's just who he is. I think as a competitor, and it's pretty fucking sweet to have him on our team.
No, yeah, I mean, like I said, we mentioned a lot of times, like we were former athletes. I mean, sometimes like there's players that that thrive off that shit talking, can back up their shit talking, and Luka's definitely one of those guys that just kind of like, tell me I'm shit, I'm gonna show you. There's even like a whole like subreddit on Minnesota where they're like, hey guys, let's not boo Luka, let's not talk trash. Like he's known to prove that he does better under these circumstances. They were trying to stop it, and it happened early in the game where that guy in a fucking suit sitting courtside was telling him to cry. That was probably his first ever like NBA game. But he's just got money here. He's got a company that has tickets, and he's the reason why his team is sitting at home, and probably last game he ever attends. So
it's man, it's exciting. So. I guess pivoting to away from how the Mavs got there, we can talk a little bit about the Celtics. Obviously, matching up, Celtics were far from it, I guess. They were the number 1 overall seed in the NBA, went 64-18, which is best in the NBA by 6 games, something like that. First round, they played Miami Heat, the 8 seed, ended up winning in 5. Miami scored over 100 one time, really over 94 one time, and that was when they won Game 2. But a little asterisk beside that because they weren't healthy. I mean, they didn't have Jimmy Butler, so there's that. Second series, they played the Cleveland Cavaliers, also 1-5. Held Cleveland to under 100 3 times. Game 4, they held Cleveland to 102 in a win, and then they lost Game 2, and Cleveland scored 118. But surprise, surprise, there also is an asterisk by this one because I want to say Donovan Mitchell was hurt, Jared Allen was hurt, and who else was hurt? There's somebody else hurt. Evan Mobley, I think. No, not Evan Mobley. Darius Garland was hurt. So 3 guys hurt. Probably 3 of their best 4 players. So interesting to say the least. Eastern Conference Finals. They ended up sweeping Indiana. I don't know. That's a weird series to me because realistically, Indiana should have been up 3-1.
Yeah.
I think 3 of those games Indiana should have won. For sure, Game 1. That went to OT. They had the lead and then blew it. But also, another fun fact about this series is Tyrese Halliburton banged up. Yeah. Who else was banged up? Was it Pascal Siakam or somebody else was banged up? So 3 series. Everybody's had a banged up player that they've had to go against. And just, I don't know. The East isn't really East really isn't shit, too. So there's that.
Nothing new.
But I don't know, man. The Celtics, I don't really know how to preview the series because the Celtics are good. They're first in offensive rating in the NBA, third in defensive rating in the NBA, first in net rating in the NBA. They got, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys that have been all-stars in their career. 5, I guess, depending on if you count Derek White. Yeah, man, it's gonna be a challenge. I don't think it's gonna be easy by any means, but I don't know. I may just have a silly confidence. That could be the fact, but
yeah,
I don't think I'm scared of anybody on the Celtics. I don't feel like they have a killer. But I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Jason Tatum's a good player. I'm not saying he's not, but he's not, to me, he doesn't instill fear in other teams like Luka Doncic does. Like,
absolutely.
I think even Kyrie to a certain extent too.
Yeah.
So.
No, yeah. I mean, Boston. I mean, to even be here again is absolutely insane.
Yeah, I think we're playing with house money
for us to be talking basketball in June. But I mean, that's a dumbass excuse. You can't use like we shouldn't be here, this and that. I mean, you have the team capable of it. I don't think it's impossible. It's just if everyone's going to be executing what they're supposed to be, playing defense. I mean, I think this is the best thing though for Luka was to finish that. I mean, you wish you would have swept. You could have had a couple of days before, but I mean, you still get you do it in 5. I mean, can't complain about 5 against that Minnesota team, and you get Luka on rest, like a lot of rest.
Well,
he's been playing like every other day. He's been playing every other day. His knee, his Achilles, his back, right? His back, everything was on the fucking injury report for that guy. And he said, I mean, if this was a regular season game, I'm sitting out. But he's like, no, I'm playing. So, I mean, I think there was like 1 or 2 games where he slacked off a little bit, but I mean, if you're Boston, you should be scared. I mean, you have Luka after a week's rest. Boston is completely healthy. I mean, it looks like Porzingis is going to be back. I hope someone
another guy I'm not scared about.
Clips the fucking he's got no dog in him. If anything, I think the only person that really's got dog in them on that team is I'll give it to Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown's a dog.
Yeah,
I think he's got it in him. Just send him to his left, and he's going to be a little puppy, so it'll be fine. Send his ass back to the books. But no, I mean, I like this matchup. I mean, it's gonna be tough. I mean, I think it just in general, you want a good series, and that's what you're gonna get. For some reason, I just feel like they don't really have size on us, but they are a good rebounding team. And,
I mean, Kristaps is 7'2". Kristaps is 7'2". Al Horford's 6'9", but he's old. He doesn't really move well. Yeah. Jason Tatum's 6'8".
He gets boards.
Jaylen Brown's only 6'6". Derek White's 6'4". Drew Holiday 6'4". Peyton Pritchard 6'1". Yeah, so, I mean, that's probably their 7-man rotation right there, pretty much.
Yeah, it's going to come down to your bench eventually. I mean, it's going to come down to your secondary guys. Your stars are going to get the points. Luka's going to get the points. Tatum's going to get the points. Jaylen Brown's going to get the points. It's going to be Derek White. And I don't want to put Kyrie up there getting his points because, I mean, he did start getting his points at the end of that Minnesota series, but he went on a super slow start where he was passing the rock around, passing the dish,
Yeah.
Like at least 8 assists, which is, I mean, lovely. You were winning games, but you want him to be able to be confident on his shot. It's not even that he goes out and like just misses. It's literally just him not deciding to shoot, him going on ISO and then decides to pass it out to PJ Washington, Derrick Jones Jr. for the 3. But I just want him to be shooting. I mean, he can create his own space. Doesn't matter who's on him. He's gonna get his points. So I'm hoping he can get his points. If he can average at least 20.
I think if Kyrie can average 20 to 25, I think we're in a pretty.
Oh yeah, spot. I mean yeah, exactly, yeah.
But 20, I think is on pace for what we need out of him.
And it might even come to, you were talking about Daniel Gafford not really. I still think you haven't seen like his full potential that you saw during the season.
No. Yeah, 100%.
So I'm hoping he can finally settle down, and it should help with Derek Lively. I mean, Derek Lively in the biggest stage. I mean, he didn't miss a single shot in the whole Western Conference Finals.
Wild.
So hopefully he can transfer that. I mean, and it's going to come down to free throws too. Make your damn free throws. I hope they're just practicing free throws every single day. And for the Mavs, one more guy it's gonna be Jaden Hardy. I mean, he's taking the minutes of Tim Hardaway finally.
I love it. I'm so pumped for that.
He plays 8 to 10 minutes, but can easily get you 12 points. Easily. His first couple shots, they always somehow set him up like for a play for an open 3. And if he hits it, he's got the confidence of, I mean, no other. So Jaden Hardy's definitely going to be one of the guys that is going to be a difference maker on this run.
Yeah, the last 4 games of the Western Conference Finals, he averaged almost 9 points a game. And
I'll take that any day.
Like 10-ish minutes a game, 10, 11 minutes a game.
Yeah.
Almost a point a minute from
a
guy that's coming off the bench. And, I mean, it's not like it's inefficient either. I think he was shooting like 43%, 50%, 62.5%, 60%. Like,
yep.
He's hooping and he's playing good ball. And even in game 1, when he only scored 4 points, he still had 4 assists in 9 minutes. So, I mean, he basically directly contributed at the minimum 12 points.
You can also play the lob too to any dunks. Yeah. I mean, we've seen that a couple times.
Yeah. So I think the big key in this series is going to be how are we going to match up on the defensive side. I think that they have enough ways that they can beat you. Whereas I think like Minnesota was a little bit one-sided they had, their big men that could shoot between Cat and Naz Reid, and then they had Anthony Edwards that was going to get to the cup. And so we had a way that we could play defense on it, and we haven't really seen a team that like, okay, well, you want to sag off of, like, I mean, think about how many open shots that we let Kyle Anderson have, that we let Rudy Gobert have. Even going back to Oklahoma City series, Josh Giddey, we would let him shoot anything he wanted to shoot because we didn't trust it. But like, if you leave Jaylen Brown, he can shoot. Jason Tatum can shoot. Derek White can shoot. Al Horford can shoot. Drew Holiday can shoot. They just have a lot of guys that can shoot the ball well. I mean, even going to Kristaps, right? Like, Kristaps does kind of put a little bit of a matchup problem on the perimeter with Daniel Gafford, I think. But I don't know. I still think that when it comes to it, I'm just still not scared of Kristaps Porzingis. I don't know.
I'm hoping he doesn't have a mini KP game. I mean, that one's gonna sting. It's gonna hurt.
He's gonna trust me. He's gonna get hurt in the first 10 minutes,
especially in Dallas too. Like I
hope he gets booed. I can't.
Oh, he's definitely getting booed. He should be getting booed. I mean, I'm not saying that it's bad. I mean, he should be getting booed. Like he should be. But yeah, I mean, I feel like you played a different team. I mean, obviously you've played a different team, but style of play has been different almost every series for these guys.
Yeah.
Obviously, like size, like you were able to get out Gobert and be able to, attack him ISO or get stuff ready for you in the paint. It's been a lot tougher with this, Boston team, but you could also say something about Boston not playing anyone good just yet. They've lost,
they haven't,
two games?
They're 12-2 in the playoffs.
Yeah, insane. Also, they have experience on you. Jason Tatum's already been here before.
What's crazy is they also haven't played anybody above a 4 seed. And
that's the number 1 seed, yeah.
What, the 4 seed in the 4 seed in the East was, how many games did they win?
I don't know. We would have been like 7th place.
The Cavs won 48 games, so that's good for the 8 seed.
And we played 3 50-win teams.
Yeah, 57, 56, 51.
It's been exciting. I think it's really, obviously, Boston, regardless of them being in the East, they're the better team. There's a reason why they're number 1 seed. The reason why they were able to, take care of games. Only lose 2. One of them were both at home.
They lost.
I want to say they have one of the worst home records in playoffs. In the Tatum era.
They've lost, the 2 games that they lost were both game 2. And those would have been at home. They lost game 2 to Miami at home, and game 2 to
Cleveland.
And in Cleveland, which is kind of good. So expect a game 1 win from Boston, game 2 win from the Mavs, because the Mavs never play well in game 1. They play good in game 2. So 1-1 going to Dallas. Let's go ahead and just call it that.
Yeah, you just want to win your home games. Obviously, split one over there. You're hoping that Luka can teach Kyrie a little bit of thriving off the hate. Because it's gonna be crazy hate on Kyrie. You think the Mavs hate Porzingis. The Boston Kyrie hatred, it's insane. He knows it too. He owns
I
up
think
to
he's
how
ready
he
for
was
it.
just in a,
He's ready for it.
I hope he's. He's mature enough. I just hope it's just not like any antics how he was in Brooklyn, which I highly doubt. He looks like he's matured a lot more. But the best way to just shut them up is really just by winning games and scoring ridiculous buckets on them. So
agreed. All right. So last little bit about the Mavs. Go ahead and give me quick 30 seconds. Your prediction on the series and why.
I like me a 7-game series. They're gonna go all the way. For NBA purposes, just because I think that, what's the commissioner's name?
Adam Silver.
Adam Silver is gonna want 7. I don't want to say it's been a boring playoffs. If you've been watching Mavs games, it hasn't. So I'm gonna say 7, just to make things interesting. And Luka is gonna be your Finals MVP, and the Mavs are gonna take it in 7.
Come on now.
I have faith this is bad. I have faith and hope this is bad.
I think the Mavs are going to do it again. I think Mavs in 6. Mavs in 6 at home in Dallas. I think that this is the playoffs that Luka is cementing himself as taking the torch as the best player in the world. I think that Dallas fans have known this for the past, let's just say for sure this season, probably last 2 seasons, that we have felt like Luka's the best player in the world. But I think that now this is the one where mainstream media is realizing that Luka Doncic is the best player in the world, that he's that next level competitor, that the Mavs actually have a team assembled around him that basically accentuates his weaknesses and what he needs and just the shots that he can create from other people. And ultimately, I think this is a redemption story for Kyrie. This is a redemption story for Daniel Gafford and PJ Washington that were on teams that were at the bottom of the Eastern Conference. Derek Lively's a great story. His mom just passed away, and he's like a 20-year-old rookie that's playing significant minutes. Dante Exum was playing in Europe last year. Derek Jones Jr. has never really lived up to, really much. Maxey hasn't really done anything. Jaden Hardy was, the first G League night, second round pick, is growing into his own finally. I just think that this is the team that it's like the Texas Rangers last year. They just weren't hot. Mm-hmm. They weren't hot all season, but now it's like, why not? They're peaking at the right time. The Mavs, the Mavs are going to do it. So Mavs in 6, that's what I like to hear. On my side, you got Mavs in 7. We'll revisit this as we're going. I'm sure at one point both of us are going to say the series is over and the Mavs are going to lose. That we were stupid for having hope. And hopefully eventually they turn it around and prove us wrong. But yeah, I think this is a pretty good stop to take a little break. I'm going to throw it to our sponsors because without them, we would not be here. So let's go ahead, take a quick 30-second break, and let you guys listen to our sponsors.
Hey everyone, it's Ryan from No Credentials Required to talk to you about one of our newest partners at Belly Up Sports, SeatGeek. Yeah, live sports is great on television, but the feeling of being at the arena is a priceless experience. That's why our friends at SeatGeek are there to help you find the best tickets at the best prices. Not only can you get tickets to sporting events, but you can also get tickets to concerts, comedy shows, musicals, and more. Search for your desired event now at SeatGeek.com, enter promo code BellyUpSports at checkout, and you save $20 off your first purchase. SeatGeek. Life's an event. We have the tickets.
And we are back. Thank you guys so much to our fantastic sponsors. Again, couldn't do it without them. So now that was Mavs talk. Big NBA Finals, big stuff going on. Is that Ollie that I see in the outfield? Are you out there? You ready to talk a little Rangers, little baseball?
Hey, man. I know I'm small, but I can cover a lot of ground out there. Okay. I know you see me out here. It's a no-fly zone and all in the outfield. Man, it's been a while. I'm feeling kind of rusty. I haven't done this in a while.
Yeah.
Just like me, or just how the whole show has been, Austin and Ollie, just on and off. That is your Texas Rangers so far into the season. Roughly 60 games in. Today's the 60th game. They're currently down right now, but they have someone on second, so they can tie it. Okay. But it's at bat Tavares is 0-for-3 today. So
we'll see. It just went final. Went final.
Okay. Well, there you go. So now they are a 29-31. Oh, there's Miggy. If you guys are on the YouTube,
little Miggy sighting.
Yep.
Miggy sighting.
But yeah, I mean, Rangers have just been consistent. We really haven't talked much about them. Won't spend too much time on them because it's still early in the season. It's just been, they got the case of the injuries. Case of the injuries.
So many people are hurt.
Your starting rotation is doing really well. You're worried about your pitching. And you have guys like, you had Dane Dunning step up last year. And this year you have...
Cody Bradford was stepping up.
Cody Bradford
was stepping up, and then he got hurt, and then you have guys you try to give Jack Leiter a shot, and as big of Jack Leiter fans as at least me personally, I am. I think that ultimately I hate to say it, maybe he's just not ready, or maybe he's not it.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that happened. Starting pitching has been. That's what your worry was with. Scherzer starting in the IL. DeGrom in the IL, starting. Tyler Mahle too, but that wasn't really the case. Your starting pitching was doing pretty well. It was holding you up. One goes down. John Gray is having a awesome year.
He's having a great season.
Yeah, great season. He's top 5 in ERA. I'm pretty sure.
Yep.
Goes down, and you got guys like Gabrielos or some shit. He's some goofball.
They pulled this dude from the street.
You have to pull. Yeah, you got to pull these guys of select their contract out of nowhere. You literally have no choice. To you have to I guess you want to say rush Jack Leiter, which he shows good stuff, which is a good thing. And he's still doing his thing in the minors, which is good that he's not being too hard on himself about it.
He did just get touched up his most recent start.
Oh.
I think he gave up 6.
Oh. It's okay. It's baseball. Think about it. There's plenty of times Nolan Ryan that happened to Nolan Ryan, DeGrom. It's okay. Josh Young, it looks like he's on the cusp of coming back. Nathaniel Lowe was coming back, and he was doing pretty good. You got guys like Josh Smith stepping up. If you just stay in contention around All-Star break, you can still hopefully get some trades going on because, again, the things you were worried about, your pitching, you got guys like George Kirby, or no, not George Kirby. Kirby Yates, my bad. You got guys like Kirby Yates Yeah, no, I think George Kirby's the Mariners pitcher. Kirby Yates stepping up for you as your closer. He's absolute dogging, sub-1 ERA. You have
David Robinson.
David Robertson has been a great addition. He was a former Yankee, was with Miami the second half, I think. He's been good. Jose is trying to find his way back. He gave up a homer today, which he blew the hold, so he took the L today. Jonathan Hernandez has looked really, really good for you too. Heaney had a really good start yesterday. Finally, 6 innings with no runs given up. So it's really not your pitching. It's just been your offense has been terribly bad. I mean, you're just really, really, really bad. And again, your offense really hasn't been healthy. Corey Seager is finally on a tear. I think I had this down as 15-game hit streak. I think he has 60 now, up to 16.
Yeah.
It's the second longest of his career. Consecutive shutouts. I mean, when you took the Miami game, the Saturday, Sunday game, you shut them out. It's the first time since 2016 that you do back-to-back shutouts. So that's 18 innings pitched without giving up anything, which is insane. Other nuggets that I have is... I kind of forgot that Robbie Grossman was back on the team. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't really paid too much attention to the Rangers just because of
I haven't either.
The playoff situation, and just know that we're not playing really good ball right now. I mean, I've been to a couple games. So Robbie Grossman, back in your Rangers lineup. Since there's 5 players in MLB since the start of 2023 that have a minimum of 150 plate appearances versus left-handed pitching. That's slash 300 average, 400 slugging, and 500 on-base percentage. I think that's how it goes, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Your players, Mookie Betts, runner-up for MVP, absolute dog for the Dodgers. William Contreras, catcher for the St. Louis Cardinals, I believe, or he's on the Brewers. One of those two.
I'll take your word for it.
Okay. Luis Rengifo, Angel player. Adley Rutschman, a very good catcher, young upcoming catcher, obviously. And nothing but, last but not least, Robbie Grossman, your DH outfielder, is absolutely raking against left-handed pitching. And so is Josh Smith. He's batting like over 300 against left-handed pitchers, which is kind of impressive. Not him being a lefty, as you hear the sigh of Austin, because we all love Josh Smith. We all love us some Josh Smith.
FJS.
And some other things that I started seeing. So I noticed that Nathaniel Lowe wasn't starting last game, which is I was just kind of confused because he's your everyday first baseman. But it looks like he's just been struggling against left-handed pitching. So you have Zeke, your favorite player over there, Austin, Zeke, that can play absolutely anywhere. He showed off his rocket, his arm. I don't know if you saw that. He's got a cannon of an arm.
You're rocket watching?
Yeah, I am. He threw a rocket, man. He threw a rocket in the outfield, man. He got a couple outfield assists. They're playing him at first right now, just for platoon service, like just platoon circumstances of playing against a left-handed pitcher. So that's been happening around for your Rangers. And also, a funny thing, I don't know if you noticed this, but Bruce Bochy wasn't actually at the game today. Yeah. It was a scheduled family matter or something like that. So Will Venable was in place for him today. And supposedly it was still like win or loss was still going to Bruce Bochy, regardless, even if he wasn't there. So just hoping everything's all right with him. And another funny thing that I saw today. Well, so today was Bark at the Park, I think is what it's called.
It was Bark at the Park today.
So, and you didn't take Miggy, so you're terrible.
Oh, we had the full podcast.
Oh, priorities. I forgot. We're getting locked in. No, but the funny thing is, like, they do fireworks for every home run.
Yeah.
So since there's dogs, they don't do fireworks, actually.
Yeah, that's probably for the best.
Yeah, supposedly, I don't know if this was true or not, but like supposedly I think they were like playing like doorbell noises, so the dogs would bark. So yeah, I would definitely, when I thought about it, I would have blown them bitches up, and dogs would have been probably like crying.
Yeah,
so
they'd be freaking out.
Yeah, because Marcus Semien opened up the bottom of the first inning with a leadoff home run. So
and that was the lone bright spot of the entire game.
Yeah, it was early too. But Nathan Eovaldi got back today. He pitched pretty damn well. Just gave up 1 homer. He went 5 2/3, I think.
Yep.
5 2/3. Yeah, no walks, so he was absolutely dogging it up there. So, I mean, your team's getting back to health. I mean, Corey Seager had a very slow start to the season for missing spring training. So yeah, I mean, it's looking in the right direction. They're gonna have a really tough June, is what I was talking about with Austin prior to start the recording. So they gotta take advantage of these games in Detroit, which they already dropped 1. Can't win all of them. I mean, you played a really good pitcher in Skubal, where it's like another top 5 ERA guy. He went out there and gave up only 1 run for however many innings. I think 6 probably. So yeah, you can't win all of them. You got 2 games, which you don't know who your starting pitchers are for tomorrow or the next. So that's just been the case with the Rangers. It's been injury after injury. Guys are stepping up. I mean, you're seeing random guys play every day. We'll focus more on you guys. So hopefully by the end of the NBA Finals, your Mavericks are at full strength, or your Rangers are at full strength. Because the Dallas Stars, even though at full strength, cannot score a goal to save their life. So. Yeah, I mean, that's your Rangers update and all in the outfield.
The bad thing is the Rangers are kind of the only thing that we have going until the Cowboys start, and I don't want to talk about the Cowboys.
Until the what starts?
Yeah. Yeah, we may shut down the podcast. We may not have anything to talk about this summer or fall.
We can find stuff to do. Don't worry.
Yeah. We'll just turn it into Premier League podcast. Premier League will come back full swing. We'll just do that all day.
Exactly. Thank you. See? It's still football.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's all in the outfield. Some other big things going around the world. Obviously, both of us are soccer fans. Champions League final, if you keep up with that.
Yep.
That was this previous Saturday. Real Madrid beat Borussia Dortmund 2-0 in Wembley. Have any big thoughts on the game specifically? Because I watched it. I thought that Dortmund looked pretty good early on, and you would have thought that they would have had a chance. And
yeah, I mean,
it just kind of felt like
20 minutes in, it looks like Dortmund should have been crowned champions of Europe.
Yeah.
I knew it was too good to be true. I mean, Adeyemi has a chance, 1-on-1 with the goalie. Moment too big for him, you know. It was just... and then, I mean, there's a lot more chances that happen in that game, and then obviously Real Madrid get there and get their 2 or 3 chances, and then... Yeah, Jude Bellingham that keeps disappearing in big games gets praised for all this crap of... I saw this thing, it's like, going to Real Madrid and winning like your first Champions League is like losing your virginity to a prostitute, which is a very good description, very good comparison of what's going on. And then they signed Kylian Mbappe. That's another massive thing that's going around right now. I mean,
it's
the whole sports world is getting to know it. It's being compared to KD signing with the Warriors, and it's... Yeah, but it's almost just like LeBron in his prime joining the Warriors, kind of, where he was just tired of losing.
What's crazy is he's getting paid Tim Hardaway Jr. money.
Who?
Kylian Mbappe. He's making $15 million a season.
That's it.
That's it. I mean, he got a $100 million sign-on bonus, but I'm talking per season. He's making less than Tim Hardaway Jr. 15 a year.
I thought I'd seen it all with the Shohei contract, man.
Crazy.
I don't know. Football's dead, man. Football's dead. I hate it. I'm not enjoying it. I'm not enjoying it.
I don't know, man.
Not gonna lie.
It's kind of disappointing. I thought it was a good game. I thought Ian Maatsen was a good player, the left back for Dortmund. Sabitzer I kind of felt like was kind of hooping too, and then like Adeyemi wasn't a good. Sancho had a good like Champions League run. He didn't do anything. He wasn't there.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's just the rich get richer with Real Madrid, and they have Mbappe coming, they have Endrick coming. They also like Chouamini's just sitting on their bench, didn't even play.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, like they're unbelievable. And like Toni Kroos is retiring, and I don't really think it's a big deal to them, which is
no. I mean, I'm glad it was a competitive game. I was scared of like a 3-0 blowout. I mean, it was 2-0 at the end, but I mean, it was just. I
thought the first like 70 minutes, I think it was
very good football. Yeah, it was very good football from both ends. But then I was really talking about it beforehand. I was like, if I see Carvajal score a goal in the Champions League final, I'm gonna kill myself. Let alone a corner off a header.
Yeah.
The shortest guy on the corner wins a front post header.
Could have been you.
Could have been me.
Could have been you.
Could have been me. Could have been me. Could have been Chicha. It could have been anyone.
Yeah.
But, oh, man, it's... I'm just glad it was a good game. I mean, we all knew it was going to be Real Madrid. I mean, everyone was on the other side of Dortmund just for Roy's sake.
Yeah, absolutely.
But, yeah, it's tough. It sucks that. And then whoever gave up that pass to kind of just put the nail in the coffin, even more tough. And Royce was like right there to get the front POV of it. So yeah, I mean that's over for awaiting to see what's next.
Yeah, I think that goal by Vinny was kind of just the stat padding for the Ballon d'Or.
And he scuffed the fuck out of it too, bro. He hit the ground. It was terrible. I mean, goalie had a hands up. I mean, he scored. Yeah, cool, but he just.
It's like in the storyline, it's gonna be like he scored, a winning goal.
And Jude got the assist too.
Yep. And
so,
it's just.
Yeah.
It's not good for the Real Madrid.
Yeah, there was like a half and half with Jude. Like I thought he didn't play that well. Like he had a lot of chances, so like he should have put those away. But I mean, you see on Twitter like they were posting his stats, and it's like, oh my god, look at Jude's stats, and everyone's like, did we watch the same game? Like they're like, thank God I have eyeballs because if I were just reading this,
it's a stat watching versus the eye test.
The eye test,
It looked like he wasn't around. Like I don't know. I didn't feel like he was.
Yeah, I really didn't see much of him. The only time was
the
chances he had. I mean the assist. I mean, yeah, you can't fuck that up, but yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So that's Champions League. Some last little minor things. Dallas sports. Stars obviously just went out in the Western Conference Finals of the Stanley Cup playoffs. Sucks. They lose in 6. To Edmonton?
Yeah, losing 6.
Yeah, losing 6. They were up 2-0 in Game 5, ended up losing 5-2, and that was the nail in the coffin, man. So that was tough. But hey, neither of us are super big hockey fans, so I guess the life goes on. I think
I was going to start paying attention. If they went to the Stanley Cup final, but hey, America Alliance Center gets a rest.
Yeah, I think you and I both would rather have the Mavs in it anyway.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. And then I guess you want to talk about this last point or no?
Yeah, we can briefly talk about it. I mean, everyone seems like they're talking about the WNBA, so I mean, hey, finally getting their flowers. I just don't know why. I mean, all around, and like they're all hating on Caitlin Clark. Like every single individual player absolutely hates Caitlin Clark. Even though the reason they're getting all this attention is because of her. Even though I don't know if you saw Angel Reese's comment today, she was like, "Oh, she's not the only reason like that you guys are watching the WNBA. Like I'm here too." And it's like, okay, like it's not all about you, okay?
She can't hoop like Caitlin Clark can hoop.
Yeah, and I think they were cooking her. I think she was shooting like 20% from the field, and it's like
she's a big man. She's a big man, and she's shooting 25%.
I just hate how she like loved to make it about her, which like I get the aspect of like almost every single interview for any random player. I mean, I don't want to say random, but obviously I don't watch WNBA, but it's like Caitlin Clark this, Caitlin Clark that. Even if they don't play them, somehow she gets brought up into every single WNBA interview. I get the aspect of like, damn, like why do they keep asking me these damn questions about Caitlin Clark? But also like her getting like, if she was like a bitch on the court too, like I would understand.
Yeah.
But she doesn't seem like she like talks shit like that. I mean, she's on a shitty team. She really can't talk much. But like her getting like blind eye.
That was crazy.
Hit.
That was like, crazy.
For what? Like you don't even see that in the NBA.
Yeah. And it's kind of like I think that there was a good point made. Like in the NBA, if something like that happens to your star player, you're gonna have somebody that's gonna come in and defend you, and it just like they didn't do anything.
Yeah, nothing.
They didn't do anything.
They said if that was Steph Curry and Draymond, oh god, oh, imagine the scenes for that.
Yeah, man, I don't know. It sucks, and I think that like ultimately, like I think that the WNBA deserves the talk, because it's not like it's like horrible basketball or anything like that. It's just that, obviously something with the rookie class is changing the perception of the WNBA when they're taking chartered flights now and they're starting to get paid more. They're getting better endorsement deals. Maybe it's not purely because of this one player, but that doesn't mean that you have to like be a detriment to that one player and just constantly hating on that one player or constantly being like, oh, like just talking shit, taking cheap shots. Like it's bullshit. Like I think then you would want, the whole league to prosper. And I think at that point, like it's people are just being haters. So what are you going to do, man? What are you going to do?
I don't know.
So I don't know. Maybe the Dallas Wings, our local WNBA team, maybe we get out to a game, go check in.
I think they have a pretty good team.
I don't think they're bad. I think they have the leading scorer in the WNBA. I think it's like 26.5 points a game.
Yeah, it's just dog. They play at UTA. Yeah, why not go catch a game? Yeah.
Go catch a game.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys, I think got any final thoughts or anything? You ready to wrap it up?
Let's do it, man. That's it.
So yeah, hey, well, it's a good first episode back. Feels nice to get back, kind of get in the flow of things. We're working out the kinks. Plan is right now to have a Thursday, or I guess it would be published on Friday, instant reaction to Game 1. I'm going to go ahead and put it out there and say that it's going to happen. So be on the lookout for that.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, we'll make it work at some point.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, guys, thank you guys so much for listening. It's good to be back. Hopefully you guys stick with us. Obviously, we're going to be a little bit better about posting stuff, putting stuff on Instagram, TikTok, social medias, Twitter, YouTube, all that stuff. But yeah, make sure you guys go check out our socials. Instagram and Twitter is at Austin_and_Ollie. TikTok is at AustinOllie, all one word. My Instagram and socials are in the show notes. Same with Ollie, same with Belly Up Sports, our grateful partner in all of this. So, guys, thank you so much for listening. We'll see you guys next time, hopefully on Friday, for another episode of Austin Ollie, a sports podcast. Goodbye.
Thank you for listening to this Belly Up Sports Podcast Network product. Some said we go belly up, so we made it our name, and we're still here.